Welcome to Hopkins High School for Lake Conference Girls Lacrosse. It is the season opener for the Royals here this evening as they play host to Wayzata. The Trojans did get one game in on Tuesday night as they defeated Buffalo in their season opener. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox, and thanks for joining us for lacrosse here on CCX. And the boys' game will follow later as John Jacobson will take over for that one here, and a pretty interesting matchup. Both of these teams pretty similar seasons a year ago, right around the 500 mark, and Hopkins won the regular season matchup against Wayzata, but the Trojans turned the tables and got them in the quarterfinals of section play a year ago before a close loss in the semis to Maple Grove for Wayzata. And both teams have some pretty good returners. There's about 11 seniors on this Hopkins team, so they've got a fair amount back. They did graduate some of their D, and they'll be new in goal. But overall, have a pretty good group back to the Royals, and looking for pretty good things this season. They've had a few scrimmages, and they're cautiously optimistic about this season being a pretty good one. And for Wayzata, as we said, they did get that game in against Buffalo the other night, able to pull out a victory in that one, and they're looking to build too. They did lose some scoring, certainly. Katie Sikorsky, their leading scorer a year ago, graduating, but they do have some pretty solid returning group as well, as they graduated about 5 or 6 varsity players, so the rest back, including a returning goalkeeper right there, Delaney Ganas, for the Trojans. Tell you about key players to look for in this evening's contest, starting with Wayzata, the visitors. Ainsley Owens is a junior, and she is verbally committed to Eastern Michigan. Got the season started in pretty good fashion with 7 goals in the opener last year versus Buffalo, and was a 20-goal scorer for them a year ago. They really like her ability to kind of play all around and plug in any spot, but as a midfielder, she's got good skill, good endurance. They'll pretty much use her all night long, and look for her to be a key weapon not only tonight but all season long. And for Hopkins, of course, we said first game of the year for them, but coming off a really strong junior season was Tori Katzenmeyer. She had 44 goals for the Royals a year ago, and their senior group has been providing some really good leadership, according to Coach John Smart, and Tori, one of that bunch that's a captain for this team. And again, they like their ability to get things done. They've got a lot of players who played either soccer in the fall together or hockey in the winter, or sometimes even both, on this lacrosse team. So they feel like they're meshing pretty well already early this season, but you never know what you're going to get on that first night as well. So both teams will be building. One thing that's certainly different for girls lacrosse this year is we've switched from 2 halves to 4 quarters. And so that'll change things up a little bit. The timing-wise, mostly the same, except for the fact that we have obviously extra stop at the end of the first and third quarters. So both coaches said a little bit of an adjustment. We got, it's kind of like an extra timeout built in, but then again, at the same time, the quarters feel like they zip by pretty quick. So you have to kind of be ready for that part of things. We will get set for the start of tonight's contest here. It is Wayzata and Hopkins girls lacrosse from the Lake Conference, and it's on the way next here on CCX. And just about set for action here at Hopkins. A little chilly here tonight, and wind will be a little bit of an issue for these teams as well. And I was asking Wayzata, there you see approaching 20 miles an hour, and that's kind of the way this week has been. I was asking Wayzata, you got your game on Tuesday. That was a very rainy day, and Coach Kidd said the B squad game got a lot of rain, and I was there to watch that, so I got all soaked. She said the JV and varsity, by that time, it had pretty much stopped, so the players didn't really get too drenched, but anybody who was there earlier, like she was, kind of had to sit through a little bit of a soggy evening. So we are about set to go. Hopkins in the home gray and Wayzata in all blue. And here we go, first quarter of play, and the Trojans will get first possession here as Owens controlling it. Owens getting the pass. It was mishandled briefly, but then regathered there by Evie Marks. Trojans getting into their set here to start it out. And they'll get an early opportunity from the free position here. Evelyn Osland, the senior, in goal for Hopkins. And there's an early opportunity and an early goal for the Trojans, as tucking it away is Shyla Sanders. She had 3 in their win over Buffalo the other night, and she starts it out with a goal here for the Trojans. You see Sanders will go up high with it, up and over the top of Osland, and she'll score just over a minute into the game for a 1-0 Wayzata lead.
Scoring for Wayzata, number 16, Shyla Sanders.
So kind of another good example how faceoffs are so key. Wayzata able to win that first one and get it for a goal. And they'll wind up with it again here as Addie Vaughn controlling. Pass gets away, and the turnover. The Royals will try and work their way upfield as they swing it right side here to Lily Wagner. Wagner getting it into the middle. Nice passing ahead here for the Royals, and here's Katzenmeyer. Drops the pass back. It was just a little bit high, though, and the Trojans able to come up with it, forcing the turnover there, and Allison Lavender working her way back upfield finds Jaden Miller. But they'll turn it back over, and Hopkins looking to counter. It'll slash there, and Nora Paul controlling here for the Royals as they try and overcome this early 1-0 deficit against Wayzata. Wayzata starting with a couple on the road, and then they'll be at home for 5 straight games after this. So a bit of an interesting way the schedule worked out for them. Pass down low there, and Ganas coming up with a save, but then the rebound is pushed in, and Hopkins will tie things up, as Lindsay Schuchard will get the goal here, I think, for the Royals. Another look, you see the first save made, and she picks it back up and then just tucked it in over the top of Ganas. Good hands there, and able to score it.
Hopkins Royals. Number 25, Lindsay Schuchard.
So we're even up at a goal apiece. Each team kind of converting on their first real decent opportunity there. Ganas making a first save, and Schuchard doing a good job of getting her hands to that one and under some pressure, but tucked it in. Owens will run it down here for Wayzata. And they'll turn it over. Royals looking to quickly get back after it. They will get into their set here. Katzenmeyer brings it to the front, firing, and Ganas able to make the stop on that one. Long outlet pass, and the Trojans looking to maybe not wait for and let Hopkins get set up, but then a nice defensive play to break that one up. Pass getting away briefly, and this will be a Hopkins possession here as Lucy Johnson was being pressured, but ooh, and a nice interception there by Vaughn. Vaughn forced back the other way in a lot of traffic and was a little slow to get rid of that one, and ultimately Katzenmeyer up with it for Hopkins. Recovery there by Nora Paul. And this will be a Wayzata possession here. Oh, I apologize, it's Hopkins. And another one there as Owens got in there to break that up. Nora Paul being asked to go back about 5 yards there as she restarted, and now able to get that pass ahead to Lindsay Schuchard, who had that first goal for Hopkins. Down low with it there, and they'll lose it. Noss up with it. And then knocked away, and here's an opportunity for the Royals as they force the turnover, and the shot and goal, and Hopkins will go in front. That didn't take long after that turnover. Is a good job by Katzenmeyer to take advantage. So he comes up with it and had some space to go and tucks that one away.
Scoring for your Hopkins Royals, number 40, Tori Katzenmeyer.
So a 2-goal lead here, or 2-1 lead, excuse me, for Hopkins. Just past the halfway point of this first quarter, and timeout on the field here as there's a look at John Smart, the Royals head coach. And Madison Kidd with the Trojans, her 5th year as head coach. She said, as many coaches have talked about in the spring, she said, well, my first year was 2020. I don't know, do we count that? Because obviously that was the year the spring sports were wiped out by COVID. But she was still in charge of the program, so I said, yeah, that should count. Nora Paul and Ainsley Owens on the draw here. Paul working it ahead to Schuchard. Turnover forced though, and Owens up with it for Wayzata. Quickly finding Sanders. Sanders getting a good run up the right and now to the middle, and pass got a little too far in. It bounced past everyone, including the goalie there, as Oslin couldn't come up with it. Right out front, they didn't really get a shot attempt there, and then the Royals though turn it back over. Recovery by Lavender. Jaden Miller took a bump there. And right out front, a shot and a goal there for Marks. So Wayzata will tie things up here. Good job on a quick restart there, and Miller finding Marks, and Hopkins was just a little bit slow to react. So about a minute after that last goal, or just shy of a minute, the Trojans will tie it back up. And ground ball eventually scooped there by Lucy Johnson. Johnson looking out front for the cutter. Not quite enough room. Now she'll go to the second option there, but Trojans get a piece of that and eventually force the turnover there. And Swanson coming up with it. And pass across now to Lavender. Finding Miller. And good reception there by Sanders. Royals get back into pretty good defensive position here, and Sanders not going to force the issue, let her team get set up. Puts it out front. Here's a quick low shot, and that one is in for Miller. They've gone high a couple of times on Osland. That time Miller attacking low and able to score it for the Trojans. We've had goals just about a minute apart here. Couple for Wayzata, and that one courtesy of the freshman Jaden Miller. And so now Wayzata back in front of as they've scored the last two after Hopkins had taken a brief 2-1 lead. Vaughn coming back to get it here for Wayzata, able to get that pass on target to Swanson. Sanders looking right with it over for Marks. Marks looking to the front. So Wayzata will get possession here from the point of that pass. Marks will circle the net. And looking out front, it got away though. She tried to connect with Fran Evans. Trojans will regroup here. Owens making her move, weaving through, but this one whistled down. So Owens will get an opportunity here. The free position. Owens goes right to the net and buries it for the Trojans as they will go up 4-2. We've had 4 different goal scorers here tonight. And now 3 goals in a row for Wayzata as they take a 4-2 lead. See, no hesitation there, and that's a tough one, tough ask for Osland. And Owens going low with that shot to bury it. As we said, a 7-goal outing in the opening night for Ainsley, and now getting her first of the night here. Swanson will take the draw this time for Wayzata. And Owens reading that one well, got to it immediately, and now Marks, and here they come. Sanders will have to track it down here. Sanders, a spin move to try and get free, drops it off there for Marks, and the shot goes wide. That was a pretty nice setup. Wasn't a whole lot of room, but got to pass through, and now Wayzata with a quick restart. Out front, opportunity and a goal. Nice patience there by Swanson as she cut across the goal mouth, kept her stick in motion there, so her defender couldn't really get to it. So Swanson, the senior, you see, nice little pass here, but watch her keep moving. Even drifted backward just a little bit to get away from the D and able to bury that one. Wayzata's been pretty efficient. When they've gotten opportunities, they've generally been able to make it work, and that's helped them to this 5-2 lead with a little under a minute to go in the first quarter. And again, if you're just joining us, a new setup this year in girls lacrosse. We had previously played 2 25-minute halves, now 4 12-minute quarters. Owens racing back to get it here for Wayzata. Nice read though, and it's knocked away. Royals though couldn't come up with it clean, and Miller controlling now for the Trojans. They've got about a half minute to go, but they turn it over. They're at Peterson, but then taken back. And a Moeller. And about 15 seconds, so still time, but they need to be aware of the clock. Evans looking out front now. Fran Evans trying to draw the D. Got the pass out there. Vaughn got to stop here with 3 seconds to go. And Addie Vaughn going to play beat the clock here a little bit as she'll get an opportunity from the free position. Well, looks like a timeout taken here. That's the thing, even though it's the first quarter, it can be pretty key whether you get this one or not. So they're wanting to discuss it, and it's also a good preparation for, later in the season. You're talking about playoff time or whatever when you really need one late in a situation like this. So I think it was Wayzata that used that timeout to try and make sure that they're ready to try and convert here and realize what the time situation is. And Coach Smart, when I was asking him about the switch to quarters, he said, in a way it might help us a little bit because we're generally not a super deep program compared to some of the Lake Conference where they've got, unlimited bodies seemingly. But on the flip side, he said, overall, I'm not sure I'm so much in favor of it. We've chopped a couple of minutes off of the clock total. And, for a short spring season, he said, I guess his verdict was, we'll see what happens, but I think I got the impression that if it were up to him, we would have stuck with playing 2 halves. So freshman Addie Vaughn looking to try and put one away late here in this first quarter for Wayzata. Oh, not going to be where she was hoping, and so this changes things a lot. Vaughn. And time will run out now on this first quarter. It's a pretty good one for the visitors as after one here, it's Wayzata 5 and Hopkins 2. Second quarter of lacrosse coming up here on CCX. Welcome back here to Hopkins High School as Wayzata leading Hopkins 5-2 to be in quarter number 2 here in our girls lacrosse matchup. The Trojans and Royals boys will do battle following this one on CCX. And after Wayzata had scored the first goal, Hopkins got the next couple to go ahead 2-1, but then 4 straight for Wayzata. Overall, certainly more of a Wayzata first quarter, I would say, than Hopkins. But obviously in this sport, goals can happen fast and furious. So the Royals not really going to hang their head too much here. You're down 5-2. It's certainly a lead that you can catch up on, but they've got some things. And honestly, I feel like, having had one game versus having had none makes quite a difference here in this first part of the season like this. Wayzata is able to kind of get the nerves out, get the kinks out a little bit in that Tuesday game against Buffalo, whereas Hopkins has, been having practices and some scrimmages, but a little bit different thing to actually be out here on the game field. And both these teams, in addition to playing tonight, will be playing Saturday as well, as Wayzata hosts Champlain Park, and Hopkins, meanwhile, visits St. Louis Park on that day. So not a whole lot of rest time between this one and their next contest for both sides. As we talked about, the importance of face-offs has been showing up too. Early on, Wayzata was controlling them rather easily, it felt like, but then Hopkins did a little bit better job, but it's still, for the most part, the Trojans ended up winning them, if not immediately, then coming up with some ground balls, winning some races to balls, and possession is so key, obviously, getting those face-offs. Encouraging too, as Coach Kidd talked about for Wayzata, that we probably are going to have a little bit more balanced scoring this year, and boy, that's showing so far here this evening, as they have had 5 different goal scorers in that first quarter. And off the draw, slipping down there was Swanson. Wayzata possession. Owens' pass was pressured there. Good job by Lily Wagner. And now the Royals advancing it here. But that pass knocked away. Sanders doing a good job to not only deflect it, but then get to it as well. Sanders finds Miller. Miller lost it just as she was about to make a play. And going to be Wayzata possession there, as the Royals thought they were going to have things going back the other way, but didn't work out. And that shot going wide after the initial attempt was knocked away. Evans did come up with it, but then put the shot over the top of the net. Trojans get it right back though. Marks. Looking for a cutter out front. And that one a near miss opportunity. I don't know how that one got through to Vaughn. Flip to the front, and chased out of there was Marks. back across, but then takeaway for the Royals, and they'll try and advance back upfield there as Lucy Johnson, and the pass taken right back. That's one thing Wayzata's done a very good job of, forcing turnovers. Lavender, and they almost turn it back over again though. Possession gained though by Wayzata and dropped over to Evans, and lost it. Marks gaining control here for the Trojans. Marks trying to flip it out front. That pass was denied. Ella Perry getting a piece of it. Wayzata possession here. Marks dropping it down low. Here's Miller with the turnaround, rips it home. And the freshman will have her second of the night. Miller didn't waste any time turning and going to the net there. And able to put that one home. You see the nice pass alongside the net and then cuts to the front, and Oslin, no chance on that one. It's interesting that Wayzata has, some teams really like to spread it out a little bit and make sure that there's a lot of room for cutters, but they've been able to sneak some passes into some tight quarters, and they've been looking to put pressure on by having multiple cutters. And Owens gaining it. Nicely worked up the right side. Sanders trying to get in the middle there, but Royals able to force the turnover. But again, they've had a little trouble connecting on back-to-back passes, getting it out of there. This will be Hopkins' possession. The Royals trying to get things back going a little bit. They were playing fairly decent early on, but it's been more Wayzata of late. Lily Wagner. Now Hopkins getting the first offensive zone time in a while. Katzenmeyer circling behind. Down low. Oh, Ganas with a nice stop there. And out of there with it comes Lavender. Oh, not for long though. Nice takeaway. Little spin move to boot there for Perry. Hopkins, a near miss last time. There's Ganas with another save. And here's another look as Ganas has come up big. Whoa, that's a nice save right there. And then another. Ganas wanted to say hi to her future college coaches too. University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. It sounds like they may be watching tonight, Melissa and Claire. And she said, yeah, well, say hi to them for me if you would. So she's excited to be heading there. Division II program. Miller lost it briefly, but no harm done. Gets it right back. Nice little move. And then her shot stopped by Oslin. That's probably her best save of the game so far here. Sanders looking for cutters here. Miller was briefly open, but it was a little hard to, the angle wasn't there. The net was kind of in the way. Owens working her way up the right side. Violation there against the Royals as Owens going to drop the pass across, but the defender got in the way, read that one. They'll get it back though, Sanders. Getting a little screen and then got hit. So Sanders from the free position here for the Trojans. Goes to the net and puts it away. Alice Sanders scoring her second of the night. 5th of the year as the Trojans stretch that lead now to 7-2. Just went up over the top of Osland, who's a little bit of a smaller goalie, and they have actually gone up high on her on a few of their opportunities. So 6 in a row for Wayzata. They lead it 7-2, but Hopkins able to win this face-off. Nora Paul. Paul dropping that pass off, and that one, Ganas got a piece of it again. She's had a few pretty key saves here in the second quarter. Katzenmeyer. A little 2-on-2 on this left side, but pretty good communication defensively there for Wayzata, passing off that cutter and not overcommitting. Move to the net, and Ganas, though, able to make another save. She's been solid on those high shots especially. Katzenmeyer again looking for cutters, but not too bad a job defensively. Schuchard with it now. Scored the first goal of the game for Hopkins. That one tied it up early in the first quarter. Katzenmeyer. Nice move to the middle and puts it away. Katzenmeyer breaking the drought for the Royals as she scores up high on Ganas, getting her second goal of the night. And the Royals pull within 7-3. Another look. The move out high was what really helped to get that one done for her. She was able to kind of get her shoulders squared and had opportunity to go either way with that one and put it just up in the top corner over Ganas. I just had said how Delaney had been pretty solid on those high shots, but that time Katzenmeyer disguised it well enough that she just snuck it in over her.
Scoring for your Hopkins Royals, number 40, Tori Katzenmeyer.
Hopkins trying to turn things around here late in this second quarter. They've gotten one, and boy, another one would be big here as we go under 3 minutes to play. And again, Katzenmeyer will go to the net. Ganas the save and able to stop that one just before it crosses the goal line. Trojans on the move. Quick passing across. Oh, and Miller took her eye off it a little bit. Boy, they really had the numbers there. And you could almost maybe say too unselfish there, but it was going to be a good setup. But Miller didn't quite haul it in as she was trying to kind of catch and shoot all in one there. Nice quick rotation. Sanders working it ahead. Marks. Marks dodging to the left. Runs into traffic there though. But Elsa Hahn got a little too aggressive there. Marks will back it out of there. Finding Owens. And she gets clobbered. And Avery Shaw will be sent off with the, yeah, got her right up top there. That's why you have that eyewear. On both sides, they're really jockeying for position. The officials having to step in and say, all right, let's settle it down here. Owens will go right to the goal here and finishes it. So Owens will get her second of the evening right there. And Wayzata, again, kind of reasserting control, not allowing Hopkins to get any string of goals going there. And Owens finishing that one after taking a shot up high there that led to that. So back to a 5-goal margin here, 8-3 lead for Wayzata. Vaughn getting it ahead there to Swanson. Recovered there by Brooke Foster. Foster out front, turnaround try there. And there's a nice save by Osland as she's able to deny the opportunity for Swanson. Good setup here, and boy, I was all set to think this was going to be a goal, but that time right into the basket, and Osland excited as she made a stop. Sanders. We're under a minute to play in this first half. Now Owens spinning away there and gonna get another stoppage there as the Royals will be called, and Owens will get another opportunity here. And nice save there by Osland again. She has come up with a few big stops too. Her counterpart certainly has at the other end, Ganas. Sanders trying to work her way to the front. It's knocked away. Owens, though, there to retrieve it. Putting it out front. Shot and a goal as Swanson buries it for Wayzata. Boy, again, there was not a lot of room to get that one through. Good pass, but also very good hands to receive and score as Swanson in tight went up high to bury it.
For Wayzata, number 21, Eleanor Swanson.
So Trojans now leading at 9-3. They've kind of stayed the same, attacking same. A couple of them got stopped there by Osland, but didn't really change the way they were doing things. I like the way they've played here so far. They've been connecting on passes and look relatively sharp here for just game number 2. And again, for Hopkins, just the first game. It's a little bit of a difference, but again, they've also still got plenty of time to battle back and get into this one again. Vaughn with control. Owens, 7 seconds. Owens working her way out front, firing, and that one was denied. Sanders up with it. And the half will come to an end here, but again, a pretty good second quarter for Wayzata as they put 4 more on the board and allow just 1. So our halftime score here at Hopkins High School is Wayzata 9 and Hopkins 3. First half highlights, and then our second half of lacrosse coming up here on CCX Sports.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back. There's a look at the Wayzata huddle as their team playing a pretty solid first half, leading it by a score of 9-3 here in girls lacrosse at Hopkins High School. Thanks for joining us here for our lacrosse tonight. I'm Jay Wilcox. John Jacobson will be by to have the boys game for you coming up later as we take a look at some highlights from that opening half. It didn't take long to get started as Kyla Sanders scoring early for Wayzata. Hopkins coming back though. Shuchar, the first shot's blocked, but she gets it back and puts that one away up high, and it was 1-1. But then Hopkins receiving a turnover, I should say, from Wayzata, and Katzenmeier makes him pay. But Wayzata quickly answering his marks, tied it right back up, and then it was mostly Wayzata from there. They go to Miller, and the freshman Jaden Miller scoring there. And Ainsley Owens puts one away for the Trojans later in that first quarter. And then Swanson finishing it off, and then to quarter 2, Miller getting one early there, finishing out front. Sanders from the free position. Katzenmeier gets Hopkins back on the board, and at that time it felt like, well, they're starting to creep back in, but then the last 2 went Wayzata's way as Owens scoring that one, and then out front, nice catch and score by Swanson. That one came with about 17 seconds remaining to give the Trojans this 6-goal margin that we have at halftime. A little chilly night, a little windy, but all in all, not the worst that we see in April spring sports. Wayzata 9, Hopkins 3. The second half is coming up next here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Welcome back here to Hopkins Lake Conference Girls Lacrosse on CCX Sports. Wayzata looking for more of the same here in half number 2. Hopkins had a few adjustments to make, but again, still very much in striking distance as they are down 9-3 to begin our second half. Barrett Peterson and Eleanor Swanson getting set for the face-off here as we get ready for the half. And Peterson counting, Hopkins may or may not have the right number of players out there. This is what I think what the official is indicating. Yeah, they don't have enough. It is opening night, so these things happen. Good job by the officials there to just kind of sort it out and get ready for this half to begin. Gonna redo that. Big battle for it, and Owens comes out of there with it. Vaughn trying to get that pass back, but instead Lily Wagner got there. And she threw it too high for Paul, though, and Wayzata getting it back. Owens splitting the D there. Trying to get it out front, looking for Marks. Royals, though, countering and this is where they've had some trouble putting together like 2 passes in a row to really effectively work it upfield. This time able to do it. Katzenmeyer leaving it there for Schuchard. Look out front, and Ganasso will come and pick it up, and pretty well defended by Swanson there, drifting back in to help out. Miller will come back to meet it, finding Foster. And then out front, Marks. And across, and they get the goal. Good patience there as they find Sanders for the goal. Really nice play there, working the ball side to side. We got a new goalie too there, but it's Bella Bisbee coming in goal for Hopkins to begin the second half. And Sanders will get her 3rd of the night. So good patience waiting back kind of on the weak side for Sanders to get into position. Marks will get the assist there. This time the Royals able to win that face-off. Avery Shaw looking for an opening here for the Royals. Spinning away, but the D converges on her there. Royals are going to use a timeout. They looked a little unsure of themselves getting into that set there, so probably a good time to talk things over here. Talked about Wayzata kind of having a nice string of home games coming up. It's kind of the opposite for the Royals. They're on their home field tonight, but then 3 straight road games. They'll be at St. Louis Park, as we said, Saturday, and then next week, Buffalo and Apple Valley will be getting visits from Hopkins. So one thing that's certainly changed and probably for the better is that I think virtually all these games that they'll be playing will be on turf fields now. So you're not, for the most part, dealing with too many uneven or very different surfaces with grass fields, and obviously early in the season too, you can have a little more problem with that before grass has really started to grow well, and can have weather issues a lot more too early. So Hopkins will have possession here out of the timeout. Nora Paul will get things restarted here. Shaw dropping that pass off. Shoot yard. Go to Katzenmeyer. I'm sorry, now Katzenmeyer receiving and tucks it in close and scores. Katzenmeyer will get her 3rd of the night for the Royals. And so it certainly appears as though that timeout was a good idea here, as you see the nice pass drop down there by Peterson to Katzenmeyer. And weaving her way to the front, tucked it past Ganas. At 44 a year ago, and off to a good start tonight with her 3rd of the evening here, and the Royals pulling within 10-4. They've certainly had, good moments and flashes of playing pretty well. It just, Wayzata have been a little more consistent overall in possessing the ball longer. Owens on the move here for Wayzata. He'll circle back. Flips the pass out front. Big battle for it there. Man, bodies everywhere as Owens able to come away with that one. Sanders. Spins her way back, and this one stopped by Bisbee. And now the Royals looking to work it their way upfield. Nice job by Katzenmeyer to come to meet that one. Now they get some numbers forward here. Back down low to Peterson. She'll spin to the front, try to go back to Katzenmeyer. That time it was blocked. It was similar to the setup that got them their last goal. Battle for this ground ball, and ultimately the Royals do win it. Pass flipped out front, but Owens got back, or excuse me, not Owens, but Moeller to break that one up. And it will be Wayzata possession. They'll give it to Ganas, and she looks upfield. Got by the first group of players there. Gonna be Hopkins' ball. They get it over to Johnson. Johnson cutting to the middle. A lot of traffic there, though. They have a halo violation, though, against the Trojans. And Lucy Johnson, the sophomore, will get free position opportunity here for the Royals. Trying to sneak that one in, but goes wide. Hopkins will get it back here. You try dropping it down low. Peterson working Hayward to the front, but that one was blocked, but she was tripped up. I think the play on the ball was clean, but another defender got a piece of her, so Barrett Peterson now from the free position. I said I was pursuing her too early there. She'll take that shot, and Ganas able to stop it. Vaughn trying to get it to Natalie Honnell there. Opportunity out front. And wound up in the net, but didn't count. Yeah, officials are going to converge here. Wayzata, Ganas and her defenders were confused a little bit on that one, and all of a sudden Hopkins had seemingly an opportunity out front and then whistled down. Just making sure they're on the same page there. Julia Ostapek looking ahead there and finds Swanson. Lavender getting it in the middle but knocked away. Recovery there by Wagner for Hopkins. But she's quickly converged upon, and here come the Trojans again. Swanson getting it across. Vaughn will have an opportunity now. Addie Vaughn, the freshman, goes to the net and puts it away for the Trojans. So Addie Vaughn converting there for Wayzata. Another look as she goes downward on that shot. Bisbee trying to gauge it but couldn't do it. So a 7-goal lead again here for Wayzata, 11-4. A little under 4 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Shaw up with it as the Royals have done a little bit better job on faceoffs here early in this second half, but hasn't really resulted in them closing the gap, though, to speak of. They're again down 7 now. Katzenmeyer to the front, and Ganas showing no fear there. A close range shot, but just stayed right with it. At times, goalie can seem like a thankless job in this sport, but it's also exciting, you know, when you make a big save, when you take one away that the other team thinks they're going to get, it can be a lot of fun as well. Coach Kidd was saying that Ganas had not played this sport at all until her 9th grade year, and has come quite a long ways in that amount of time. Marks working her way up the right side as the Trojans try and press the advantage here. Didn't see anything she liked initially, so they'll get things set up. I really, for the most part, have liked the decision making from Wayzata too. I mean, yeah, the passes and things have been good, but they've also, in general, I thought, pushed the advantage when they've had it, but also been patient when that's required as well. Now Hopkins looking to quickly counter. Arnold got a piece of that one, but Royals get it right back. Shaw looking to go to the net here. And that one is stopped, though. Ganas another save. Finding Lavender. Vaughn showing her speed right up the middle. And that one knocked away, but it'll be Wayzata possession here. Marks directing traffic a little bit here, and then looks back for the cutting Sanders. Sanders firing that one, missing wide. It'll be Wayzata possession, though, as we're under a minute in this third quarter. And chased down, nice work by Vaughn. Tried to go out front with it for Marks, but nice takeaway there by Johnson. Katzenmeyer, a little space to work with here, and she's got time. Katzenmeyer going around the D, but then was bothered from behind and fired it wide. Royals will have to hurry if they want to get a crack, and it doesn't look like they're going to have time. And the third quarter will come to an end. Hopkins showing some good things, but again, Wayzata getting 2 of the 3 goals in that quarter. We have played 3 quarters here this evening, and it is 11-4. Wayzata. The fourth quarter is up next here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. There's a look at the Wayzata Trojans carrying a
7-goal lead, 11-4, as we get set for this fourth quarter here. I'm Jay Wilcox. Thanks for being with us for Lake Conference Girls Lacrosse. Wayzata boys and the Hopkins boys will hit the field at the conclusion of this one for their contest here tonight. And again, watch for that one on CCX as well. Solid performance here for the Wayzata girls so far. They just, kind of had the edge all night long. It have connected better on passes, converted on their opportunities a little bit more, gotten some strong goalkeeping, and every time Hopkins has started to seem like, okay, they're making a little inroads, they're maybe going to come back a little bit, they've just been limited to a goal at a time, and Wayzata's quickly kind of regained control in each of those instances. And Wayzata able to control the draw, which obviously has been a part of them getting the lead, but then takeaway, and Hopkins trying to quickly convert. Shaw drops the pass back, turnaround try there, and a stop. We've got a new keeper in there for Wayzata as Ainsley Weiner now playing net. Both teams have made switches within the game. Wagner gaining possession for Hopkins, and they look to get after it. Ooh. Megan Mitchell was knocked down there. Shaw putting it out front, turnaround try and a goal, as Schuchard will score her second of the night for the Royals on a good feed. As you watch Shaw kind of patiently waiting, turns, and even though it wasn't too bad a D there, got her stick free enough to put that one away. So Weiner facing some shots early, got a piece of the first one, that time not able to stop it. So 11-5 now. And hobbling out there, Barrett Peterson. I think off this draw, let's see if she doesn't kind of twist her ankle maybe there. I'll reach for the back of her leg. And you could tell she was having trouble. It looks like they might be working more on the calf. Gonna get up to her feet here, and yeah, it could be a cramp. Thankfully, first real injury we've seemed to have tonight. See if anything in particular happened. Maybe it was. Gosh, it did look like a little bit like she might have rolled an ankle a little bit. But I thought the way they were tending to her that they were more working on the calf. But either way, let's hope that Barrett's going to be all right here and get a little attention from the trainer. Ganasse made some big saves. I have a feeling Hopkins probably not sad to see her go out of the game here and maybe view this as a little bit of an opportunity to get back in it. Shaw trying to come up with this ground ball, but picked up and didn't really see any indication that Ganasse has an injury. I think it was more just give, her backup an opportunity, but it's hard to say that for sure. Ooh, nice spin by Shaw. And elected not to go to the net, though. Mitchell working her way across. And a little cross check there by Owens. There is a look at Ganasse. She's still holding court there on the sideline. So, and there's Weiner has come in net. Shaw, who assisted on that last goal, getting it out front, but not quite able to control it, was Perry. And then Wayzata player knocked down. They get it to Weiner. Sanders getting to it here for Wayzata. Wayzata, you kind of feel like they would like to at least add one or two here. They've pretty much been in control of this game, but to get that goal for Hopkins, and really for the first time in a while, the Royals have kind of had the better of things lately. But here's Owens going to the net, and she puts it away for Wayzata. Just as I was talking about how they could maybe use one to regain their mojo a little bit there, she's able to put it away. And Owens will have her third of the night. And back to a 7-goal lead. You see Owens making a nice sharp move to the net. And just see, got skill, but also athletic. I mean, just the cut there, 2 of them in a row. Just good feet there. Good athletic goal there for Ainsley Owens. So a 12-5 lead now for Wayzata as each team has scored a goal in this fourth quarter. And Royals able to get that face off, but not for long. Vaughn working it ahead. Sanders takes the pass from Marks. Sanders getting to the front, fires and scores. Sanders very good with the left hand, and it's got a good long reach as well. Or Marks, Sanders, yes, getting that goal. And Wayzata stretching the lead now to 13-8. Getting her fourth of the night. You could see she really had this in mind, I think, from the start. Setting up the defender and then keeping that extended and getting that left-hand shot away. And Bisbee maybe overcommitting a little bit, thinking that she was going to continue across the goal mouth there, but well-placed shot. Sanders, you kind of get the feeling that Wayzata, said, this isn't over yet. We need to keep playing here, as Hopkins had probably their best stretch in quite a while early in this fourth quarter. Going to be Hopkins' possession. They're telling Owens what she did wrong there, and Royals looking to get right after it. Pass out front didn't quite make it there though, and Lavender working it upfield for Wayzata. Was pushed out there, and See, Hopkins has gotten more aggressive later in the game here in terms of, not just sitting back and letting Wayzata come upfield. It might cost them giving up an opportunity as well, but trying to just force the issue a little bit more. There's a nice takeaway by Shaw briefly, but then Sanders knocked it back away. This will be Wayzata possession. Sanders finding Owens. Vaughn gets it to Marks. Call here is going to go against Hopkins. And Evie Marks get an opportunity from the free position here. Bisbee gonna have to guess right here. And not able to do it as Marks puts it away for the Trojans. Get her second goal of the night, and they have definitely regained control here. See as she snuck that one in the near side post there. Wasn't really a lot of room, but just tucking it away. And now 3 straight for Wayzata after Hopkins had gotten one early in this fourth quarter. Again, pretty even keel game from Wayzata. It didn't seem to get flustered at all when Hopkins was coming at him a little bit more there early in this quarter. Royals have done a much better job on faceoffs. That one will bounce all the way into the goalie there, and Weiner starting it back upfield. Swanson able to drop that pass off, but bobbled and lost there by Lavender. Katzenmeyer trying to get a step there, drops the pass off. Johnson will restart here for the Royals. Weaves past the defender, and a nice stop by Weiner. Johnson made a good initial move. Made him think she was going to shoot and then came across the front, but it seemed like she might have waited a little too long for the perfect opportunity there. Work it up the left side. Swanson. Meg Carlson in there now. Got the pass out front. It was knocked away, but recovered by Vaughn. See the sun coming out full now for really one of the first times all night. Trying to get it back to Vaughn. And then the shot will go wide. I think it's kind of throwing the goalies a little bit. All of a sudden you have to be looking in the sun where we really hadn't at all. Been very gray all game long until just these final few minutes. Pass out front. And tripping to the ground there was Swanson. Took a little bit of a rough tumble. So she'll get an opportunity here from the free position. And they're jockeying for position away from the ball here. Swanson. And that one denied. Nice stop there by Bisbee. Big time battle for this ground ball. Another look at Swanson as she was tripped up on the way in. It's funny, this ball ended up bouncing actually in eventually, and then a nice save by Bisbee. Yeah, knocked back away. It's going to be Hopkins' possession there. Timeout requested by Hopkins here with 2:27 to go. They are down 14-5. And especially this early in the season, it's always learning time. You want to, you know, if you got something you need to communicate, good timeout use there. And, you know, certainly it's too late in the game for them to really get back in, but it's still all these little situations matter, whether you're playing with a lead, whether you're playing from behind. You still want to be coaching them up all the way through these games. It's a relatively short season. You got to take advantage of every opportunity to communicate to your players and make sure they're on the same page. And you're not just coaching for tonight's game, you're coaching for the rest of the season as well. And as we mentioned, both these teams back in action on Saturday, with Wayzata hosting Champlain Park in an afternoon game and a morning start for Hopkins over at St. Louis Park. Sanders, oh, bloody thumb it looked like there. So Hopkins possession was in deep in their own end as we restart here. Now Shaw will restart here for the Royals. Headed ahead to Perry. Perry with some speed up that right side, gets it set up as we're under 2 minutes to go now in the contest. 14-5 Wayzata lead. Barrett Peterson looking down low. Katzenmeyer, that one passes a little bit behind her though. And goalie Weiner hustling out there to be closest to that one. Swanson moving her way upfield here for Wayzata. Got it to Foster. Out front, turnaround try there. Boy, Miller got a pretty good wind-up from close range there, but not quite able to put it away. She's had a couple nice goals already tonight and was looking for a third. Marks looking for cutters here. Marks a spin move. and then puts the shot away for the Trojans as she gets her second in a row here. See marks once she got by that first wave and then able to put that shot up and over Bisbee. So a 10-goal margin here as they keep the clock running here. 15-5 Trojans. So they've gotten 4 of the 5 goals here in this fourth quarter to kind of put this one away. And that is going to do it for the game. And an impressive performance here for the visitors as Wayzata spoils the season opener for the Royals with a 15-5 win. Pretty consistent scoring too. They had 5 in the first, 4 in the second, just a couple in the third, and then kind of finishing it off with 4 goals in quarter number 4. So we hope you've enjoyed the girls game. Watch for the boys game as well on CCX. Your final in the girls contest is Wayzata 15 and Hopkins 5. That'll do it for now from this girls game. I'm Jay Wilcox. Thanks for watching Girls Lacrosse on CCX.